All right, so today we're going to take a deep dive into the world of AI.
Oh, okay.
More specifically,
Sounds good.
we're looking at the recent alliance between C3.ai and Microsoft.
Yeah.
Tom Siebel, C3.ai's CEO, actually said that this could be the, quote, most significant event in the company's history.
Wow.
So that's a pretty big deal.
It is. It is.
What are your initial thoughts on that?
Well, it's definitely a bold statement, especially considering where C3.ai is right now.
Right.
I mean, they're a big player in enterprise AI. There's no doubt about that.
For sure, for sure.
They've attracted a lot of investors, based on their potential.
Yeah.
But they've really been struggling with profitability.
Yeah, their revenue growth has been really impressive.
It has.
But they just haven't figured out how to turn that growth into profit.
Right.
And in fact, their net income has actually been declining.
Yeah, and what's interesting is this isn't really unique to C3.ai. A lot of tech companies, especially those in these new emerging fields, they prioritize growth early on just to grab market share.
Right, like get that foothold, get that...
Exactly. They want to dominate, even if it means pushing profitability down the road.
Yeah. Wasn't Amazon like that in its early years?
Exactly. They weren't profitable for years.
Yeah, it's that long game.
It is.
And, Siebel even said himself that profitability was, quote, a mathematical certainty as C3.ai scaled.
Right.
But that obviously hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, not quite.
So the big question is, could this Microsoft alliance be the key?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is more than just, a simple partnership.
Right.
This is a strategic move to put C3.ai's enterprise AI applications on Microsoft's Azure marketplace.
That's huge.
It is huge.
Like, think about the customer reach.
Exactly. They're going to have access to this massive pre-existing customer base.
Yeah, that's already on Azure.
Right.
So you have this company, they're grappling with profitability despite incredible growth.
Yeah.
And now they have this partnership that could potentially supercharge their sales.
Yeah.
So is this the answer?
Well,
I mean, it's like a real nail-biter, isn't it?
it is. It's hard to say. It's a multifaceted situation.
Right.
On one hand, this could totally boost their revenue.
Yeah.
But it's not as simple as that.
Of course. Of course.
There's also the potential for increased expenses, too.
Right.
Things like integrating with Azure, marketing to this wider audience, potentially scaling operations to meet the new demand.
Yeah, it's like they're walking this tightrope.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to see that C3.ai's stock has actually dropped about 20% in the past month.
Wow. So investors are a little hesitant.
It seems like it.
They're not quite convinced that this is the answer to the profitability problem.
Right. So if someone was thinking about investing in C3.ai right now, what would you tell them?
Well, I think until they show some real improvement in their profitability, it's still a risky investment.
Okay.
I think patience is key right now.
Okay.
We need more evidence that this alliance will actually turn into not just higher sales, but a healthier bottom line.
Right. It needs to translate.
Exactly.
But this is about more than just C3.ai's stock performance.
Oh, absolutely. This partnership gives us a glimpse into the future of the entire AI industry.
That's really exciting.
It is.
So if this is successful, could this set a precedent for other companies?
It definitely could. We might see a lot of similar partnerships popping up, with smaller AI companies wanting to leverage the resources and reach of these big tech giants.
Like a test case.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
C3.ai can actually make this work.
Right, and achieve both growth and profitability.
It could signal a whole new era of collaboration in the industry.
Exactly, and don't forget about the role of cloud computing in all of this.
Right.
This partnership really highlights the growing importance of platforms like Azure
Yeah.
for developing and deploying AI solutions.
So companies like Microsoft are really positioning themselves at the center of this.
They're enabling AI innovation.
So I want to bring this back to our listeners for a second.
Okay.
If you were an investor, what would you be looking for to feel confident about C3.ai's long-term success?
Well, for me, I'd be watching their gross margins closely.
Oh,
If those improve, it would mean that they're becoming more efficient
right.
at actually delivering their AI solutions,
Makes sense.
which is crucial for long-term profitability.
Yeah. And it would also be interesting to see how this alliance impacts their customer acquisition cost.
Oh, for sure.
If they can leverage Microsoft's customer base
Right.
to get new clients more cost effectively.
Absolutely. That would be a big win for them.
Yeah, it would.
And, ultimately they need to show that their AI solutions are actually valuable to customers.
Right? Are they actually helping these businesses?
Exactly. Are they making a measurable difference in efficiency, productivity, decision-making?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's about delivering real-world results.
It is. It's not just hype.
Right.
It's gotta work.
So what's your take on the specifics of this alliance?
Well, I think one of the most exciting aspects is the potential for C3.ai to tap into Microsoft's sales and distribution network.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Microsoft has a global presence. They have these deep relationships with companies across all sorts of industries.
Yeah, they do.
This could really expand C3.ai's reach.
Right.
And accelerate their customer acquisition.
It's like suddenly giving them access to this superhighway
Exactly.
to reach new customers.
Right.
But it's not just about the quantity of those leads.
No, it's about quality too.
Yeah.
And that's where the integration with Azure comes in.
Right, by making their applications available on the Azure Marketplace.
Exactly. They're reaching potential customers who already use and like Microsoft's cloud platform.
Yeah, they're already in that ecosystem.
Right. This could potentially shorten their sales cycles.
So it's like targeted exposure.
Exactly. Reaching the right customers at the right time with the right solution.
Yeah, that's powerful stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
But we also need to remember the potential challenges.
Right.
Integrating with Azure is a really complex thing.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot of upfront investment and ongoing maintenance.
And they might need to hire more people, too.
Oh, yeah. They'll need the right engineers and technical staff to make sure everything works smoothly.
It's like building a bridge between two complex systems.
Exactly.
It takes a lot of work and resources.
It does. And they also need to consider how this will affect their pricing.
Right.
You know, by partnering with Microsoft.
Yeah.
They might need to change their prices to fit in with Azure's marketplace guidelines.
They need to find that sweet spot.
Yeah, they got to stay competitive, but also make sure they're making enough profit to justify this whole partnership.
Exactly. It's a balancing act.
It is, and it's worth noting that the financial impact of this might not be immediate.
Right. It'll take time to see results.
Exactly. It could take a while for the benefits to kick in.
Yeah.
And for C3.ai to really optimize their operations and save money.
So investors need to be patient.
They do. They need to take a long-term view. Don't just focus on the initial hype.
Right. Look at the fundamentals.
Exactly.
So we've covered a lot in this first part of our deep dive.
We have.
We've talked about C3.ai's financial challenges.
Yeah.
The potential of this Microsoft alliance.
Right.
And what it all means for the future of the AI industry.
Yeah, and we've also highlighted how important it is to look beyond the headlines.
Yes, dig deeper.
Exactly, and really think about the opportunities and the challenges that are ahead.
It's all about understanding the nuances.
Yes.
Asking the tough questions.
For sure.
And forming our own informed opinions.
Absolutely. You know, one area we haven't really touched on is the competitive landscape.
Right.
I mean, the enterprise AI market is getting pretty crowded.
Yeah.
You've got big players like AWS and Google Cloud making moves. And then there's this whole wave of specialized AI startups.
Yeah, all vying for a piece of the pie.
Exactly. They're all targeting these specific niches.
So it's a real battleground out there.
It is.
How does C3.ai stand out in all of that?
Right. So that's a great question.
Yeah.
And it really gets to the heart of their value proposition.
Yeah.
One of their biggest strengths, I think, is their focus on these pre-built industry-specific AI applications.
So they're not just offering like a generic platform.
No, they're providing solutions tailored to specific industries,
Okay.
like manufacturing, energy, financial services.
So instead of companies having to build their own AI solutions from scratch.
Right, which can be a huge undertaking, they're offering these ready-to-deploy tools that address their specific industry challenges.
I see. So it's like going to a specialist doctor
Exactly.
who understands your specific health concerns
Yes.
rather than a general practitioner.
Right, who has to start from zero.
Yeah.
So it's about that domain knowledge.
Right.
And C3.ai's focus on industry specialization really sets them apart from some of those generic platform providers.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But they're not just focused on those pre-built solutions.
Right.
What about companies that have more unique needs?
Right.
Or want to build their own custom AI applications?
Yeah, they definitely offer a platform for developing and deploying custom AI solutions too.
Okay.
So they give data scientists and developers all the tools they need
Uh-huh.
to build and scale their own AI applications.
So it's kind of a hybrid approach.
Exactly.
Offering both pre-built solutions for those quick wins.
Right, for those who need to get up and running fast.
And a platform for those who need more customization.
Exactly.
That's smart.
It allows them to appeal to a wider range of customers.
Right.
And compete with both those big platform companies and the smaller niche players.
Okay, so we've talked about their competitive positioning.
Uh-huh.
and their approach to the market.
Right.
But how does this partnership with Microsoft specifically help them compete better?
Well, I think one major advantage is the integration with Azure's cloud infrastructure.
Okay.
So now C3.AI's applications can run on Azure, taking advantage of the scalability and security of Microsoft's cloud platform.
So it's like they're getting a boost from Azure.
Yeah. It's like a turbo boost.
Right. They can tap into this massive cloud infrastructure
Exactly.
to scale their operations,
Right.
process data more efficiently, and just deliver their AI solutions at a much higher level.
Exactly. And it's not just the infrastructure.
Yep.
They can also leverage Azure's data and analytics services, so they can enrich their AI applications with even more powerful insights.
Like they suddenly have all these new tools at their disposal.
Right. They can analyze data faster, build more sophisticated models, and ultimately deliver more value to their customers.
And this also opens up new opportunities for joint innovation, right?
Oh, absolutely.
C3.ai and Microsoft can work together
Right.
to develop new AI solutions.
Yeah, solutions that leverage the strengths of both platforms.
Right, so it's like two brilliant minds coming together.
I like that analogy.
Right, and creating something even greater.
Yes, and it really shows how this partnership could push the boundaries of what's possible with AI.
Okay, so we've talked about the competitive landscape, C3.ai's strategy, and the technical advantages of this partnership.
Right.
But we can't forget about the financial side of things.
Oh, absolutely.
We've mentioned their profitability challenges.
Right.
And we need to think about how this partnership could affect their financials.
Yeah, both the good and the bad.
Right. So let's start with the potential upsides.
Okay.
We've already mentioned the possibility of increased sales.
Right, from tapping into Microsoft's customer base and their distribution channels.
Right. But what about their costs?
Uh-huh.
Could this partnership actually help them reduce expenses?
There's definitely potential there.
Okay.
Well, for example, by using Azure's cloud infrastructure,
Yeah.
they could potentially cut down on their own data center costs and their IT infrastructure costs.
So it's not just about bringing in more revenue.
Right.
It's about making their operations more efficient.
Exactly. Becoming more lean.
And saving money.
Right. And those cost savings can really boost their profitability.
But we also have to be realistic about the potential downsides. What are some of the costs associated with this partnership?
Well, integrating with Azure is a big project.
Yeah.
It's going to require a lot of upfront investment and ongoing maintenance.
Right, like keeping everything running smoothly.
Exactly. And they may need to hire more engineers and technical staff, too.
Just to manage the whole thing.
Right, to make sure everything is compatible.
Like they're building a bridge between these two complex systems.
Exactly. And that takes a lot of work and resources.
So those costs can add up.
They can, and they also have to think about their pricing strategy.
Okay.
Because now they're partnering with Microsoft. They might have to adjust their pricing to align with Azure's marketplace guidelines.
They need to make sure they're still competitive.
Yes, but also making enough profit to justify this partnership.
Right. It's that balance again.
It's a tough one, and it's important to remember that the financial impact might not happen overnight.
Okay, so it's a long game.
It is. Investors need to be patient.
And they need to track C3.ai's progress.
Yes, see if they're actually taking the right steps to achieve sustainable profitability.
So we've covered a lot today.
We have.
We've dug into the details of C3.ai's business.
Yeah, their strengths, their weaknesses.
The potential of this Microsoft alliance.
And the challenge.
And the overall trends in the AI landscape.
Right. It's a complex and dynamic field.
It is. But before we wrap up, I want to bring it back to the human element for a second.
Okay.
You know, behind all the numbers and the technology,
Right.
there are real people working hard to innovate,
Uh-huh.
to push the boundaries of what's possible with AI.
Yeah, you're right. It's easy to get caught up in the tech itself and forget about the people.
Exactly.
But AI is a human endeavor.
It is. It's driven by human curiosity, creativity,
The desire to solve problems.
and make the world a better place.
Exactly.
It's like we're writing this new chapter in human innovation. And
Yeah.
we're using AI as this tool to extend our reach and amplify our impact.
I love that. And I think it's crucial to remember that as AI evolves, the role of humans will evolve too.
Right. We'll have to adapt and learn new skills.
Exactly. We need to be thinking about the ethical implications.
Yeah.
How AI will affect jobs and privacy and our values as a society.
It's a lot to consider.
It is, but it's essential. We need to make sure AI is developed and used in a way that benefits all of us.
So it's a call to action for everyone
It is.
to think critically about AI,
Yeah, and to work together.
to shape a future where AI serves humanity.
Absolutely, we need to embrace the potential.
But be mindful of the risks.
Right. And make sure human values are at the center of it all.
Yeah, you've touched on some really important points about the ethics of AI.
It's something we need to think about carefully.
Right. It's often overshadowed by all the excitement around the technology itself.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in that.
But as AI becomes more powerful,
Well,
more widespread,
we really need to consider its impact on society.
exactly, we need to make sure it's used for good,
Right, for the benefit of everyone.
and that it doesn't make existing inequalities worse.
Yeah, and that it respects human values and our freedom to make our own choices.
You know, I've heard some people worry about AI taking over jobs
Right,
and displacing workers.
right.
What do you think about that?
It's a valid concern
Yeah.
and one we need to address head on.
Okay.
I mean, AI will definitely automate some tasks.
Right.
And some jobs might be lost in certain sectors.
But it could also create new jobs, right?
Exactly. It's like any big technological shift.
Yeah, like the Industrial Revolution.
Exactly. Machines replaced a lot of manual labor back then.
Yeah. But they also created new industries
And new jobs.
that people couldn't have even imagined before.
Right. So the key is to be prepared.
Okay, how do we do that?
Invest in education and retraining.
So people can adapt to the new jobs.
Exactly. We need to help workers develop the skills they need for this new economy.
So it's not about resisting AI,
No, it's about working with it.
finding that balance.
Right, between progress and well-being.
For everyone.
Exactly. And that requires everyone to work together.
Okay, who do you mean?
Governments, businesses, schools, and individuals.
We all have a part to play.
We do. We need to make sure the benefits of AI are shared widely.
Right, no one gets left behind.
Exactly.
Well, this has been a really insightful conversation.
I've enjoyed it.
We've covered a lot,
We have.
from C3.AI's financials to the big trends in AI.
And the ethical considerations.
But before we go, I want to bring it back to our listener one more time.
Yeah, okay.
If someone wants to learn more about AI, where should they start?
Oh, there are so many great resources out there.
Yeah, what would you recommend?
Well, for the basics.
Okay.
There are online courses and tutorials.
From
Coursera, ADX, Khan Academy.
right, those are great.
They give you a really solid foundation.
Yeah, but what if someone wants to go deeper?
Well, there are websites like Towards Data Science and Analytics, Vithya.
Okay, I've heard of those.
They have articles, tutorials, case studies.
Showing how AI is actually being used.
Exactly, in all sorts of industries.
And for those who like to get hands-on,
There are open source platforms like TensorFlow and PyTorch.
where you can build your own AI models.
Exactly. You can experiment and learn by doing.
So there's something for everyone.
There is, no matter your background or experience.
And don't forget about the AI community.
Oh, that's so important.
There are forums, meetups, conferences.
It's a great way to connect with other people who are passionate about AI.
Find your tribe.
Exactly. Learn from experts. Share your ideas.
The AI community is really welcoming.
It is, so don't be shy. Ask questions. Get involved.
I think that's a perfect note to end on.
I agree.
AI is for everyone.
It is.
It's not just for tech experts.
It's a field that's open to anyone who's curious and wants to learn.
So to our listeners,
Yes.
go out there and explore,
Experiment.
engage with the world of AI
It's an amazing journey.
with so much potential.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive,
We hope you've enjoyed it.
and that we've sparked your curiosity about this incredible field.
Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning.
And keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
We'll see you then.